The idea of the devil, evil incarnate, has irresistible symbolic force, and the character of Lucifer inhabits our greatest literature from Paradise Lost to Faust. But what about the devil not as a symbol, but as an actual willful being, a fallen angel of Christian belief that can not only affect human events, but enter human bodies? Tonight we go inside the controversial and extraordinary rite of exorcism.
What's up, everyone? Midnight Stories 32 here. Today we're going to cover an Ivy League educated doctor who consults religious leaders about demonic possessions. Before we get into the story, please like, comment, and subscribe. This small act from you will tell the YouTube algorithm to push our video to more people. It helps our channel grow and means so much to us. Dr. Richard Gallagher grew up in Long Island, New York as an Irish Catholic. Religion was the backbone to his childhood and surrounded many of the values his parents instilled in him. Dr. Richard Gallagher is now a psychiatrist who studied at Yale. While Gallagher was going to school, he never believed in possessions. He always thought that the demonic possession documentation throughout history was just ancient cultures attempting to diagnose mental disorders like schizophrenia and epilepsy. Because of Gallagher's life experience and niche work, he's now a believer of demonic possession. Gallagher declares himself as a man of science, but he's also a consultant for demonic possession. He believes religion and science can coexist. Gallagher has been working with different religious leaders for the last 30 years, and his role is to identify who has a mental disorder and who has been possessed by a demonic force. Now, before I lose you, let's talk through some of the shocking things that he's witnessed. While trying to diagnose some of his patients, Gallagher has seen his patients' voice decibels change in unnatural ways. Religious objects are flying off of shelves. He's even seen one of his patients throw a Lutheran deacon across the room. Gallagher says that the deacon was twice the body weight of the patient that threw him. None of these events even come close to the wild story of Julia. She's even known as the Queen of Satan. Julia was a middle-aged woman with long dark hair. She was very charming and outgoing. Most people didn't know that she was part of a cult. Julia flirted with satanic rituals and the darkest parts of religion. That is until she found herself being haunted by a demon. Scared of this grim reality, Julia reached out to a local priest who quickly referred her to an exorcist. The exorcist agreed to take on her case as long as she would agree to a psychological evaluation. This is where Dr. Gallagher comes in. Dr. Gallagher agreed to perform the evaluation at a local chapel. Dr. Gallagher describes the events that followed as life-altering. Upon meeting Julia, Dr. Gallagher witnessed creepy events take place, such as Julia speaking in Latin, and her voice would periodically change to demonic tones. While this is a red flag, it doesn't mean demonic possession. It was the events that would later unfold that made Dr. Gallagher declare her as possessed and gather a team for an exorcism. After a few sessions with Julia, she began telling Gallagher personal facts about him that she couldn't have known, such as his mother dying of ovarian cancer. Gallagher also had 2 cats at home that were described by him as friendly. One night, after servicing Julia, he had gone home and witnessed both of the cats acting with aggression and fighting. Gallagher and his wife had to separate the cats for the entire night, because they feared that one of the cats would be seriously injured. This is something Gallagher had never seen his cats do. The next morning, when he went to evaluate Julia, she had asked him what he thought about the cats fighting last night. Gallagher, confused by Julia's knowledge of the prior night's incident, wanted to speak to his priest privately about it. At this time, the priest told Gallagher that Julia is the leader of a local satanic cult, and that it's been well documented that the devil will provide psychic abilities to his most devoted leaders. As time went by and Gallagher ruled out all mental illnesses, he could only conclude that Julia was the victim of a demonic possession. Some weeks later, Dr. Gallagher traveled to another state and was on the phone with another priest that was helping with the exorcism. The priest and Gallagher both heard Julia's voice on the phone, speaking in Latin with a demonic tone. Julia was thousands of miles away from both of the men. Several times during the exorcism, Dr. Gallagher and his team of exorcists also witnessed objects randomly falling off of shelves. Dr. Gallagher describes these events as creepy, but he claimed he wasn't scared because he knew he was on God's side. After months of trying to exorcise Julia, she finally decided to give up and no longer provide consent to the exorcism. Several years had gone by, and Gallagher finally got a call from her. She told him that she was diagnosed with cancer. Dr. Gallagher offered assistance, but she turned it down. He has never heard from her since. If you like this video and are interested in learning more about true events, please subscribe. Until next time, Midnight Stories 32.